I'm a 29-year-old woman, and for most of my life, I put my family before everything else. I sacrificed my education, my savings, my dreams, everything, because I believed that if I just worked hard enough, one day things would turn around. One day, my family would appreciate everything I did for them. That day never came. I grew up in a small town where everyone knew everyone. My family was tight-knit, or at least that's what I thought. My dad owned a small auto repair shop, and for a while it was enough to keep us afloat. But when the economy took a hit and a few bad investments went south, the business collapsed. Practically overnight, we went from getting by to drowning in bills. It was around this time that I was finishing up my last year of college. I was so close to graduating, so close to finally having opportunities that would let me build a future for myself. But then came the desperate pleas from my family, my mom crying about how they didn't know how they were going to pay rent, my dad sinking into hopelessness, my older brother Ian making reckless choices that only made things worse, and I caved. I dropped out of college and picked up as many jobs as I could. I told myself it was temporary, just until things got better. I worked in retail during the day, cleaned offices at night, and picked up shifts as a waitress on weekends. Every dollar I earned went straight into keeping my family afloat. I covered bills, bought groceries, and even paid off Ian's debts when he got himself into trouble, again and again. Ian had always been bad with money. Gambling, impulsive purchases, get-rich-quick schemes, you name it. Every time he screwed up, I was the one fixing it. My mom made sure of that. "You're his sister," she'd say. "Family takes care of each other." Funny how that rule only seemed to apply to me. Then there was my younger sister, Margot. She was the golden child, the one my parents pinned all their hopes on. They wanted her to have the opportunities I didn't, and that meant I was the one footing the bill. I worked myself to exhaustion to make sure she had everything she needed for college, her tuition, rent, even spending money so she wouldn't have to struggle like I did. I told myself it was worth it, that once she graduated and got a good job, things would finally turn around. That was the lie I kept telling myself for years. At some point, my life stopped feeling like my own. I had no social life, no real hobbies, and no future plans beyond working myself to the bone. My mom made sure of that. Every time I tried to save even a little for myself, she'd guilt-trip me into handing it over. "We're all in this together," she'd say. "We'll take care of you when things get better." Except they never got better. Years passed, and I finally landed a well-paying corporate job. For the first time, I wasn't just scraping by. I had real financial security. I thought this meant I could finally start saving for myself, maybe even move out and have a life of my own. I was wrong. The moment my family found out about my new job, the requests started pouring in. They weren't small anymore either. Suddenly, I was expected to cover bigger expenses, down payments, medical bills, even vacations. And when I tried to set boundaries, my mom's guilt-tripping reached a whole new level. "How could you be so selfish?" she'd say. "After everything we've been through, you're just going to abandon us?" Ian kept finding new ways to screw up, and every time, my mom expected me to fix it. And Margot, she had no problem enjoying the money I sent her way. She was living comfortably while I was still in a cramped apartment, eating instant noodles to make sure I had enough to send home. And then I found out the truth. One day, a coworker casually mentioned seeing Margot on social media, living it up in luxury. Brand name clothes, expensive trips, even a brand new car. I was confused. I knew for a fact she didn't have a job. I went digging, and what I found made my blood run cold. All this time, while I was barely getting by, Margot had been living a lifestyle I could only dream of, all funded by me. My money wasn't just going to her necessities. It was going to her shopping sprees, her weekend getaways, her designer handbags. When I confronted my family